That's the thumbnail right there. You're watching my favorite YouTube channel. I go by the name of Chillmonger. The way this comic book ended is the way I want to start so badly, but we will do it in order. We started off with some scenery building from the landscape of Burnin T'Chaka. Remember, it's all about world building. This comic, if I could take a shot at it, wasn't a T'Challa heavy comic book. There's less of him on screen on panel than any other comic before this. They're talking about the families, Nikusa, the Ilonga, the gang war, which they decide to call it. Not the family feud, family frenzy, not any other word, but gang war. The beady breakdown, the fight for freedom. I don't know. You could call it a lot of things, but they decided to go that route. Anyways, yeah, that's what they pick up on. It's straight up family feud. Some of the old characters we met before, like Kasinda and Woro, they're in here. We get to see the head of the family for Ilonga and Nikusa as well. Baba, what was his name? Kivu Ma. The character named Kivu Ma was teased. You can't even say his name. They built it, and the way they executed the outcome of him, which I'm saving. Well, let's keep listening to this review before I get there. This family member here is the head, I think. Her name is was it Alayo, and then we got to also see Baba Nikisu, and we learned more about them. There was a sick line in here where they mentioned about how we're gonna talk to the media figures as if the media and the criminals are on the same page. Pay attention to that, everybody. That's, I don't know, real life things that matter. Like everything on surface level. 1 second. Sorry about that. I could see the alarm coming and everything. Everything on. Oh, just stay woke. That's the general point here. T'Challa was opening these text messages. He was screening them because he's like this super detective. Remember, guys, he's not just a guy who was a brute. He has his little spy life where he plays the character of what was his name? Eyes. He plays that character to get some information. While he's listening to them all talk, there was a thing that I caught up on, and it made me nothing at all, or it's everything I want, which is T'Challa returning to the king, the whole thing with democracy flopping. It says here, one of the people, just random people talking, open gang warfare in Loazi Sculpture Park? In broad daylight? Have they no shame? A disgrace enough to make you want to leave BT. And go where? With this transitional government, is this still the Wakanda we know? Transitional government is viewed as like this negative thing. Is this even the Wakanda we know? Because we want to get back to, we want to make Wakanda great again. We want to go back to the good old days of Wakanda, and that was with the king. Maybe T'Challa sees that and he goes, okay, even though I said this very uncharacteristic thing back in Voldemort's run, where I said to my boy Jahai, whose name I almost forgot for a second because the characters that are made by these new writers every single time don't get furthered by the next writer to pick up on, which is side note. Nah, that's probably why Eve Ewing's new characters here, and I'm not really that invested in them because I know that they're not gonna last. Now I can see the final villain, this Kivu Ma. I can see that character sticking, but I don't see it with everyone else. So I do kind of eye roll when I see Kasinda, Woro. Okay, we got these characters here from the families. Got some Hatutsuraz here. I kind of roll my eyes. But side note. Now let me close those tabs and get back to the main point I was trying to say about the transitional government. Um, or with Voldemort's run, returning to him being a king is maybe it's got some roots that are being planted here, and he's gonna say to Jahai, all those words he said to Jahai, he'll realize I'm wrong. We do need Wakanda at its best, and the strongest we can be is with the kingship. I tried. In theory, yeah, democracy and the parliamentary system works. In theory, it sounds good. In practice, I didn't know if Wakanda would be able to execute it, but I can see the flaws in it. So long as I am King T'Challa, uh, so long as I'm the chosen one from the freaking Panther bust and I'm a good guy, I know I can do more instantly with less paperwork, this and that. That can be done. We tried it. It's failed. So the best route for this country is me actually becoming the king, because we're gonna need somebody who's noble and someone who's experienced enough to handle it. Is that fan fiction? That all I've read from the words transitional government? Is that fanfic? Is that an imaginative storyline that I'm putting into the world and imagining? I don't know. With the Hattusaraze, we have confirmation, close to confirmation, that they are real remnants of that gang. I'm gonna ask Theo when next time I have him on my channel about that female Hattusaraze who he noticed in the first issue and took problems with. I was telling myself in headcanon that that female Hattusaraze, I know they're all supposed to be male, but that's because they're not actual Hatut. They're just wearing the clothing that used to belong to them. I don't know how she got that, but now they are. They're insiders for the Nakisu family. Trans Nakisu. That's my new headcanon there. That's in theme with this comic. I didn't see Besa in this comic, but I got to see the furthering of the plotline with Nyobi and Shuri. It feels like you can't get Shuri, Besa, and Nyobi in one comic anymore. That's three supporting characters, probably the three strongest, which they gotta play this, like musical chairs with of who can get on which comic. There's a line here about him not being the actual Black Panther. And my headcanon again, my imagination again, it says to me, is he not the real Black Panther because there is a real Black Panther? Did they anoint one a few weeks or a few months ago? Maybe. Maybe that's nothing, but let's keep that in the back of our mind. That there is an actual Black Panther that is like government-sponsored Black Panther. Like remember how Wyatt Russell played Captain America? He played Captain America, but he was not the real one. What's his name? So someone's gonna, I don't know. You guys are gonna be mad at me in the comment if I don't know the name of the fake Captain America, John Walker. So there's a John Walker running Black Panther, and we know that's illegitimate, and we know not to. I know the dangers of other people wearing the Black Panther mantle, specifically after Chadwick Boseman's death. Not to get too much into recast, but I can see them dilute everything by saying this franchise here, it's not about this character, it's more so about the mantle, and that is detrimental to racial progression for the very most popularist character ever, that brand to be split into different factions. Because hey, maybe some fans are going to read this comic if it goes where I'm going. It reads this comic, it sees that there's a new Black Panther that's been selected, and they go, that's my Black Panther. Some people who like Spider-Man like Peter, Ben Reilly, Miles, when they think of Spider-Man. And I don't want that for that division between fans, and I don't want them to have their favorites for the highest grossing character that's ever existed with melon and skin tone. That thing, there's no room for, there's no all Panthers matter space for that, if you're looking at the dangers of it. Back to the comic though. Let's get to the end. Yeah, these two factions talking to themselves. Look at that. And I bet their minions are all at each other's throats. He says something about the Phantom. His exact words here after Cassinda takes care of his home. And we get a note here saying, you want out? You want to be clean? Get out. Yield your territory and sleep soundly on the bed of your riches. See, he goes up. He's crying to the sky. Tell me, who was it who permitted you to speak my name before these curs? You wish to say it? Say it. Say it. Kivuma! He says. Who the hell is that? And how do you defeat it? Kivuma is a credible threat. Beautiful artwork from Chris Allen. And shout out to this page. I love that it's always here. It's a good refresher every single month to remind myself what Wakanda looks like and where we live and where we are. The scariness of this character and how you're going to take him down, the mystery of it, I don't know. He's going to have to get into the shadow physics that he created back in Doom War to understand how to make physical contact with this Phantom. I can see this character sticking. Can Nyobi stick? Are we going to be seeing that character very often? No. Sorry, my squeaky chair. No, I don't see that character sticking. But Kivuma, sticking like glue. I've been Showmonger. Check out some of these other videos on the side of my face, especially the Jonathan Majors coverage. I edited this video that I did yesterday. You should watch it. It's fun. I'll have an Ahsoka thing edited also. My reaction, my watch along to that show. That might be on membership only. So join my members.